Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to be talking about how to contour and highlight your face. This is something that a lot of people don't know how to do properly, or if they do know how to do it, maybe they need some more tips or tricks. Maybe the way that I do it is different than the way that you guys do it. So that's what our video is going to be about today. Before we get into it, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up to show me that you like what I'm doing here on my channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and I know you don't want to miss out on them. So let's get into it. So before we get into how to apply the product to your face, it is important to make sure that you guys have picked the right product for you. So there's two different ways that you can go. You can do cream contouring, which you can use, a darker concealer for. There are products that are targeted and marketed specifically for cream contouring. I typically don't lean towards a cream contour. I like a powder contour. That's just the way that my skin works, and is there something wrong with it? I don't have any cream contours to share with you guys, otherwise I would, but I do have a couple powder options. So when you are picking a contour color, you want to typically pick something that's cool tone. Everyone's skin is different, and other powders and colors and undertones will look differently on everybody's skin. I do actually typically tend to use a warm bronzer for my everyday contour, but if I'm going in for a specific chiseled contoured look, I will go in with a cool tone color. So the cool tone color that I typically use is from this Smashbox Trio. And this is just the step-by-step contour palette, and I will use the contour color in here. So this is a bronzer and this is a contour. So you can see that this is more warm shade. It is, it looks more reddy undertoned, and this one is cool tone, more gray, pinky undertones, more cool tone colors. So that's the difference between a bronzer and a contour. What I typically use is the Hoola bronzer color, which is this pan right here. So if we're looking at all three beside each other, Hoola is definitely in between a cool and warm tone color, which means it is a more neutral shade. My skin tone definitely sits kind of on the in-between of a warm and neutral undertone, which means that I have a yellow to no undertone color. I don't have a cool undertone color, which is why using the Hoola bronzer works for my skin. Although I am going to show you guys the difference between using the contour color and the Hoola bronzer on each side of my face. So one more thing to get into, where do you put contour on your face? There are different ways to do it. Everyone's face is different. It's very important to note that. But typically you want to kind of go from the top of your ear down to the corner of your mouth. And that will, if you feel your face, that's basically where your cheekbone should align itself. It depends on what kind of look you're going for. That's typically the way that I do it. I never bring it all the way down to my mouth. That's just personal preference. Some people do, most people don't. Whatever you want to do, you can play with and see what looks right on your face. I will also contour my nose, so I will go very lightly from my brow down my nose all the way to the end on both sides, and then I will put some under here. And that's typically all the places that I contour. If I'm going in with Hoola, I will just also put Hoola around the top of my face and on my jawline, and a little bit blending it down and make sure I don't miss this area here. If I'm going in with the Cool Tone Smashbox, I will go in with Hoola and do those same areas just to bronze up the face, add some color back onto it. You don't want to use a cool powder all over your face unless that's the look you're going for, but typically if you're trying to warm up your face, you put a bronzer on. So I'm going to be putting the contour on to really chisel out the side, and then I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer on top of it just to warm everything back up. So we're going to start with the Smashbox contour, and I'm going to do it on this side of the face, so I'm going to change myself over here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some product on. You don't want to put too much on, at least to start. You can always build it back up. So I'm going to start at the top of my ear, and I'm just going to kind of stamp. I will blend this out, but this is the way that I like to apply it, and then see where I'm at. So I'm going to get a little bit more of that cool tone product on my brush and put some more on. So that's the product applied, not blended out. If you're looking dead on the face, you can definitely see a difference. on this side to this side. This side has that shadow effect, which is the whole point of contouring. It gives your face a little bit more shape and dimension. So I'm gonna just dust off the excess product there, and I'm gonna use this brush and very gently swirl. All right, so that's that, and I'm going to take the same brush, and I'm actually gonna do the same brush for both sides of my nose. When I do my nose, I will hold the bristles like this to make it a little bit smaller, and I will just rub along the side of my nose and flick up towards the top, so this way. Look in the mirror to make sure that everything looks blended out, and there is a very harsh line there. So I am actually going to take a brush and just blend that out. All right, so I'm going to go in with the bronzer color from this trio. I know I said I was gonna do Hoola, but I figure I'll just stick to the Smashbox trio on this brush and apply that to the top of my forehead, across my temple, under my jawline, and down. You totally can do this part with the cool tone. I just prefer putting a warm tone on the top of my head. I'm also going to take that bronzer and put a little bit on top of that contour. All right, so that is that side. So I'm going to switch over to the other brush that I didn't use yet, and I'm going to go in with Hoola, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it for here. So same thing, top of the ear to the corner of the mouth, swirl the product in and tap off the excess. When I use an angled brush like this, I stick the lower part of the angle right where I want the contour, and I blend down like that. I'm going to dust off the excess because that put a lot of product on, and I'm going to blend. Put a little bit more product on to the top of my head, down the temple, under the jaw. We're going to take again that brush we used for the Smashbox side, pinch in the edge like that, and do my nose. So that's how I contour. The point of contouring is to make sure that you are putting the darker contour colors on the areas of your face where a shadow would normally fall. So the top of your cheekbones is somewhere where you highlight because the sun would hit your cheek. And then underneath your cheekbones, since your cheekbone is supposed to, stick out a little bit from the hollows of your face, is where you would put the shadow colors. So the contour color to emphasize the shadow on your face. Alright, so now we're moving into highlighter. Highlighter is something that you use, like I just said, to put on the high points of your face. So I put my highlight on the tops of my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and sometimes right above my brow and then right below my brow. I already did my under eye highlight with just some eyeshadow, so I won't be doing that today, but that's where your highlighter typically goes. There is not a whole lot to know about colors for highlight. It's kind of whatever you prefer. Obviously, darker toned highlights are going to suit darker toned skins. So if you are, medium to dark to deep skin tones, you're going to want something that's maybe a little bit more warm and dark, like a gold, or the new Fenty Beauty, the Trophy Wife, which is apparently a really great one for darker skin tones. I have here the Maybelline Master Chrome, which would also be beautiful on darker skin tones. It's actually one that I'm using today, so it's flattering on majority of skin tones. And then if you are, light to medium skin tones, you can also get away with more icy whites, really light pinks, stuff like that. So I am definitely someone that leans towards a more warm highlight. I like the golds when I do my highlight, so that's what I'm sticking with today. So I have two here. I have the Essence Pure Nude and the Maybelline Master Chrome. I'm not going to do one-on-one, that would look weird, so I'm going to mix them both on both sides. And I have two different brushes. The brush that you put it on with is definitely something, again, that's up to preference. I am going to be using the Luxie Tapered Highlighting Brush, which is just a, kind of domed brush. It tapers in at the end and then goes up. And then also a fan brush, which is typically what most people would use for a highlight because you can just kind of pop it on. This one is more for packing it on. So I'm going to use my fan brush on this side today. So I'm going to start off with the Maybelline. I'm going to put some product on the brush here. And I'm going to apply that to the high point of my cheek here. And as you can see, it gives an absolutely stunning glow to the face. And then I'm going to take that color. I'm going to put this on my Cube Expo today. And then there. And I am also going to throw a little bit above the brow bone. And then I'm going to take the Pure Nude and just kind of put it on top. So highlighting with a fan brush is definitely super simple. It gets the job done quickly and you can really easily control how much product you're putting on. So I'm going to use the other side with the tapered brush. So when I use a tapered brush, I don't swirl it. I typically go to one side, tap off the excess because this will pack it on more, and I will just sweep it on. And then again in with the Pure Nude. That's the end of my video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or tips or tricks, leave them in the comments below and we can start a conversation about contouring and highlighting. And other than that, I really hope you guys have a fantastic day and a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye.